Thank you so much for tuning in to Coffee and RPGs. My name is Solomon SK, and we got some amazing RPG news for you guys, including the next upcoming expansion for Guild Wars 2. The Elden Ring is reaching milestones. The New World continues to make some progress. Black Desert Online is getting a new expansion, and a new sale specifically for JRPGs is coming in March. And if you haven't done so already, please consider hitting the subscribe button down below, as well as the bell notification icon right next to it, as that would tremendously help out the channel. But anyways, let's get to it. If you have your beverage of choice or your coffee, of course, let's go ahead and cover these articles together. Cheers to you guys. And as always, I'll have a 60-second form of today's video over at the right-hand corner in a form of a card if you want to go ahead and take a look at that. But anyways, let's go ahead and get some non-RPG news out of the way. And admittedly, I was a little bit disappointed when I read this, because it says here that Konami let the silenthill.com domain expire and some joker bought it. Now, the sentiment of this article, and I happen to agree with it, is that Konami doesn't really seem to find any interest with the Silent Hill series anymore, and that's why they let it lapse, which again is really unfortunate, because it's definitely one of those horror games that's really near and dear to my heart, because I grew up playing these on the PlayStation 2 and whatnot. But this wasn't the first time it actually happened. Back in December of 2019, silenthill.com was spotted on sale for just under $10,000 and somebody bought it. And so I really hope that they bring this IP back. I know there was a sort of a demo that came out, a little short one that seemed really awesome, but again, I don't think Konami's heart is in it, unfortunately. And if you are curious about cryptocurrency and why Steam doesn't accept it anymore, well, it says here in this article that 50% of transactions were fraudulent when Steam accepted Bitcoin for payment, says Gabe Newell. And quite frankly, these weren't the type of customers that they wanted, so they just ended up ditching it. And in other Steam news, it says here that Valve is already planning to make a Steam Deck 2. And the reason for that is because, well, Newell was speaking with Edge magazine, and they were discussing Valve's surprise when the most expensive version of the Steam Deck, which is just under $700, proved to be the most popular version of the handheld. And so when they looked at the numbers, basically they interpreted that as saying that its customers wanted a more expensive version in terms of having more horsepower and more capabilities and whatever. And so yeah, when that part 2 will come out, I don't know, because people are just getting the first one right now, but some of the differences might include the Steam Deck Part 2 being more compatible with VR, because I know that's something that Steam is wanting to push as well. But we'll see. Everything is still up in the air, but yeah, I don't know if that's enough to make me want to cancel my pre-order of the Steam Deck, the first one. But yeah, I'm not going to cancel, although yeah, Part 2 definitely could be really interesting. And lastly, I just wanted to bring this to your attention in case you are a huge anime and or Nier Automata fan. It says here that Nier Automata is getting an anime adaptation. There is a slight or small 60-second kind of teaser trailer. It doesn't really show us much, unfortunately, and there hasn't been a release date, but something to look forward to if you are a fan of both, especially. And sticking with PCGamer.com, we have here, explore the legendary region of Cantha in Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons. Now, this is a really cool article because it actually does go through the storyline and the lore between what happened in Part 1 and 2, between the factions expansion from Part 1 and what's coming in or coming up tomorrow as of recording of this video, because the expansion does drop on February 28th, and it's just this massive article just discussing the lore, what happened. Apparently Cantha closed its borders and was trying to be self-reliant, and yeah, I don't know, it's really interesting. Obviously I can't go over every single little detail about the lore and the story without going over an hour, but again, I'll have a link to this down in the pinned comment section below if you want to go ahead and catch up yourself, because definitely I would need to. It's been years since I played actually either of these games. And to those of you who are looking for new MMOs to play, well, we got a time travel one, and it says here from massivelyop.com that time travel MMO Into the Echoes moves its next pre-alpha to mid-March. Now, it was slated to launch on March 5th, but they pushed it back a little bit, and you could actually sign up for its pre-alpha test by clicking on this little link that they have here, and they are looking for about 1,000 players to test the game. And so if you end up getting in, let me know down in the comment section below what you're looking forward to the most with this particular MMO. I know next to nothing about it, although time travel MMO does seem pretty interesting, admittedly, because I don't think we actually had anything like that before in the market. And so yeah, we'll see where this one goes. Next, we got Elden Ring in the news. That's probably one of the biggest releases so far this year, and it says that Elden Ring has more than doubled Dark Souls 3 peak Twitch viewership, and this is Twitch viewership, not necessarily concurrent players on Steam or anything like that, because it probably be a little bit more tricky to track those because this game has been released for the consoles and whatnot. But ultimately, I know the numbers are probably really large. Is it as large as Lost Ark or Cyberpunk? I don't know. As a recording of this video, or more so as of when this article was published, it says that there are currently 761,000 people watching Elden Ring streams, which is a really impressive number at the end of the day. But of course, with all new releases, there's definitely a lot of bugs and a lot of glitches happening. And here from MMORPG.com, it says that with PC frame rate issues and PlayStation 5 not saving progress, Bandai Namco promises fixes for Elden Ring. Unfortunately, these fixes hasn't been released yet as of recording of this video, but they probably will be within this week, I would assume. They are aware of all the problems that the games are having for the various platforms, but they just said pretty much to make sure that your graphic card drivers and systems are all up to date, ready to go in the meantime. And also, if you do play for the PlayStation 5 version of the game, just remember to save it manually before exiting the game. I know it could be a little bit of a nuisance, but those are some of the things that you have to deal with as of right now. But they did promise a fix coming soon, so hang on, guys. And the game that doesn't seem to really be able to catch a break, because every time they try to fix it, it breaks something else. It says here that the new world proves a detailed list of all the fixes for the February update. And yeah, this update intends to fix over 100 issues, and the facets of gameplay that we'll see fixes include world experience, general AI, expedition AI, mutators, which is huge because that's endgame content, general combat for all weapons, war and invasions, outpost rush, aptitude leveling, and the list goes on and on and on. Obviously, again, one of those things where it would just take me forever to go every single detail of what they're trying to fix and whatnot, but I still have high hopes for this game. I know it's fallen out of grace like very rapidly, very fast. Everybody seems to be playing Lost Ark in terms of their MMO fix, but I'm really hoping that Amazon Game Studios is able to really pull through. Maybe they'll release a really awesome expansion and just really grow and learn from all these mistakes and whatnot, because I still have this game installed. I still do play it occasionally. Next, we got Black Desert Online on the news, and Black Desert PC announces Mountain of Eternal Winter expansion for April of 22. Not a specific date in April, just April, but this will include a new region that will be available for both new and existing players for Black Desert Online. So maybe it's not an end game area, rather it probably be somewhere between the middle, I would assume, by that statement. But fortunately, on March 10th, they do plan on giving us more information, more news about this next expansion and what it encompasses. So I'm really excited about that. This is definitely an MMO that I still play to this day. Next, we got Aion in the news, or Aion rather, and this is a game that I hardly ever talk about because it's a fairly older MMO that not many people play. Definitely have a lot of good memories about this one, but Aion North America gets update Apsaranta, I believe that's how you say it, which includes new missions and new instance in the 8.1 update. So this is going to include a new area, a brand new map called, again, Apsaranta. Again, let me know down in the comment section below if I'm even pronouncing that correctly. It also includes a new floor of the Crucible Spire. That's something that sounds vaguely familiar. I know I've heard of that before, but I just can't seem to remember what it is. There's also new Lugbug missions. Again, Lugbug, isn't that like some sort of Anyways, there's also new changes to the Fortress Sieges as well in terms of its rewards. And yeah, I don't know if this is enough for me to get back into the game. I probably sunk maybe 5 or 6 years into this, and a lot of good memories, a lot of grinding, that's for sure. But I'm glad it's still around, to be honest with you. Next, we got co-op looter slasher Babylon's Fall that unveils a Nier Automata crossover, new modes, and a free PlayStation demo. Now, this game is set to be released for the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 as well as the PC on Thursday, March 3rd. And what's really cool is that the devs already offered up a roadmap of the coming attractions from launch until the end of April, and these include duel mode that pits players against powerful monsters, maybe like a horde mode of sorts from Gears of War, maybe, I don't know. Sounds awesome. They also have new weapons and more bosses coming, and a gauntlet game mode that tasks players with earning high scores for bragging rights, and obviously the limited time collaboration event with Nier Automata, because Square Enix is actually publishing this game, and so I love crossovers. We'll see how this one turns out, but it definitely makes me want to purchase the game despite the fact that it has a premium on top of a battle pass system and possibly even in-game microtransaction cash shop, and that Yeah, not a fan of that, but we'll see. So there's this multiplayer survival sandbox title called Myth of Empires that's currently going through some sort of legal battle over alleged copyright infringement. But despite all that trouble that they're going through, they still are going to release the game on March 2nd. Now, this is going to be a self-published title, and it's called the International Vanguard Edition, which sounds pretty amazing just by that name. But anyways, the release will add new features such as new ways to catch birds and fish, and new building specs with new building skills, new cloaks, and to mark the game's launch, players can take advantage of free login gifts, XP boosts, and additional events as well. Players can buy this game for $25 right now, but do be aware that if the lawsuit goes against their favor, this game could go offline, so definitely take that into consideration. You've been warned. Next, we got Champions Online in the news, and this is kind of surprising to me because I thought this game went offline, as did City of Heroes and City of Villains, but that's not the case, as it says here that Champions Online brings back a leveling challenge that awards goodies for fresh level 40 characters. And you have until March 15th to get your character to level 40 to get these goodies as well if you're interested. And I know this is something that a lot of online games have. And it says here that EverQuest II is now taking applicants for its raid council until March 16th. And to those of you who are unfamiliar, a raid council is described as a controlled space in both forums and Discord where raiders of all playstyles can discuss current state of raiding as well as bringing up concerns found while enjoying or not enjoying its content. And so I know MechWarrior Online does something similar where a bunch of players in a closed circle are able to give feedback in terms of particular weapons and mechs and whether something should be nerfed or not or buffed. And it wouldn't surprise me if all MMOs or online games have something like this to a degree. And so yeah, if you're a huge EverQuest II fan, this is something you probably might be able to help and pitch in and give your input to hopefully make a better game. Next, we got a Steam sale for particularly JRPGs, and that's coming next month, running from March 14th to the 21st. And so yeah, a lot of JRPGs obviously will be showcased during this sale. I'm really excited about it. I'm a huge JRPG fan, as I know a lot of you who are watching right now are too. And so what those particular JRPGs that will be on sale, who knows? But I do plan on buying a lot of Sword Art Online games. There's a few that I want to get, but they were still kind of expensive, and so we'll see if those the ones that I want go on sale or not. Next, we got some Dragon Age 4 news, and I don't know if this is necessarily a good thing, but Dragon Age 4 executive producer has left BioWare. Christian Daly took over as executive producer back in 2020 after the departure of Mark Dara, and I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing the name. And even though he was with the company since 2018, he didn't give any reasons why as to he left the company, just stating that, or strongly implying that he left in amicable terms with the company and saying that, you know, they're still in really good hands. But of course, I mean, everybody pretty much says that 90% of the time. And but again, we had rumors from the last RPG update and news that I did where an insider said that they're hitting all the marks and production is going smoothly. So I don't know, maybe it's a mixed bag, maybe it's a little bit of both, but at the end of the day, I'm really hoping that they are able to pull off a release date for sometime in 2023, because that's what the rumor is saying, the rumors, or yeah. But anyways, next we got Dual Universe in the news, and their Athena update will feature PvP changes and an overhaul to the new player experience, which is always really nice because I still haven't jumped into this MMO yet, even though I'd like to, but it looks a little overwhelming admittedly from all the building that you could possibly do. But one of the main things that I found interesting about this PvP update is that they will introduce space mining points that generate resources, and you're allowed to take over these space mining points and gather as much resources as you can, but other players could actually come over and take over while you defend it. And yeah, gives a little bit more dynamic feeling to the game, which is always really cool. And yeah, these are actually in the PvP zones, and so I guess there's different zones where you can't PvP. That would be my assumption. And really quick, ArcheAge begins reopening marketplace, begins claims and sieges on fresh start servers. And so if you always wanted to plot a land but you weren't able to do so because of the tremendous wait and grind and whatnot, well, here's your chance. Because anyways, I'll just leave it at that because the comments are a little bit spicy on this one for sure. And next we got Elder Scrolls Online in the news, and yeah, their update 33 is almost here with account-wide achievements as well as new PvP rewards and more. Update 33 will be released for the PC on March 14th and March 29th for the Xbox and the PlayStation versions of this game. And what's really cool is that achievements will now be account-wide, which in my opinion is always cool because that means less grinding, less things to do over and over and over again. And also they say that this will improve performance because consolidating achievements also reduces the amount of data and the database it has to handle. They also have worthy coffers that has a chance to include items such as armor sets, and these armor sets include Rallying Cry, Hue and Sunder, as well as enervating aura, I think that's how you say it. And obviously these different armor sets will also include various skill sets and skill armor bonuses, rather, that's what I meant to say, depending on what skills you use. So yeah, lots of good things for Elder Scrolls Online. Anyways, everyone, that does it for today's episode. I really do appreciate it if you made it with me so far because the watch time significantly helps with the algorithms. I'm at almost 1,000 subscribers, and once I hit that milestone, hopefully I'll start learning more things about the algorithms and how to do YouTube essentially, and grow even more. So definitely appreciate all the support that I received so far. You guys know who you are. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for allowing me to grow as much as I have so far, and it's been one interesting ride, that's for sure, but gotta continue pushing, gotta continue just making more progress. And yeah, anyways, I'll go ahead and let you guys go. Hope you guys have a blessed night, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers again, everyone.